Hello, my name is Julie Green. I am back with my distraction-free background to talk about preaching to the choir and why we probably shouldn't be doing it. We should be preaching to everybody else, in fact, not even preaching, but just being ourselves. Preaching to the choir, that's kind of an expression that basically means talking to people that already know about what we're talking about. It's one of those things that gets to be a habit. It feels good because when you tell folks that already know about what you're talking about, you get a nice pat on the back and, oh, yeah. But what we really want to be doing is giving the message to somebody that doesn't have it already. Who is it that's really important to get the message out to? I would say definitely politicians. I love talking to my state rep. He's a good guy. I do it quite frequently. But you want to do it not a lot. No, just now and then. Like, oh, a bill comes up in the State House. Dear state rep, thank you for voting this way on this bill. I see another bill is coming up. I see you're leaning toward voting such and such a way. I commend you on this. Did you know? Blah, 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 blah. And, send them whatever info. They love that. They love that. I sent him something about HIPAA. I said, I'm very concerned about such and such about HIPAA. He thanked me for that. Personal letter. Now, another thing you can do, inform your rep or your senators. This is what it's like in the state mental hospitals or in the community mental wards. Inform them. They don't know. For instance, you can tell them, therapy doesn't happen there and taxpayers are being charged $60 a head for such and such group, and this is what the group consists of. They want to know because they're in charge of the money, right? Money being wasted. You might want to tell your own story. I was kept on disability, and I really could have worked. Is this the tip of the iceberg? They love hearing from you. They really do. They're not. We tend to group things together and we say a psychiatrist has an in with the government, therefore. That's not true. Actually, politicians are not, just because people are in power and people are in power doesn't mean politicians are just like everybody else. They're not like psychiatrists. They're not going to stop listening to you after 2 words. Actually, they really want to hear from us. We vote for them, right? We're votes. They want to hear a lot of stuff. Because actually they don't know. They're in their offices all day. They're not on the mental wards. They want to hear what it's like. If you've been homeless, tell them what it's like, how hard it is to find a home. Just tell the practicalities that you run up against. I have let my state rep know how hard it is to reach the state welfare agency, how hard it is to get through the auto dialer. A simple thing, how hard it is to get through their red tape and how often they make red tape errors. I said, I think people are being cut off unnecessarily because of red tape errors. Let them know. I think in the interest of their getting reelected, you can tell them a whole bunch of stuff. But keep that in mind. Keep in mind their point of view so you keep feeding them information. See what I'm saying? We can also, if you're online, you can also think in terms of not only are your regular followers following you, but people find you out of the blue. Whenever I write, I always think to myself, okay, somebody's going to drop in out of the blue and find me. course, you always got to be on the alert for people finding you out of the blue and not having any clue what you're talking about. And since a lot of my writing is about that every bit slice of life writing, which actually all writing should be slice of life writing, really. You're not going to write about your whole life, right? You write about a slice of life. So therefore, you have to give a little bit of background information, and just enough every time so that people don't freak out. You don't want the freak out effect. And I've had that freak out effect. Oh my God! But people got to realize, this is a slice of life. This isn't my whole life. So this was just today, and, yesterday is different, and tomorrow is different. And, people do realize it, but I do have had the freak out effect, and I've had to explain, that was 3 years ago. So, but realize that every time you put something online, you're going to have the drop out of the blue effect. And people are going to comment, and they're going to be absolutely fascinated or bored or angry or however they react. So you have to write knowing that people are coming out of the blue. And of course, there is always an advantage to that, because people coming out of the blue, they don't know. They may be thinking, they may have just been prescribed Prozac. They may have a bottle of Prozac and not even know, and they're Googling Prozac, and they find your website saying, I had all these effects from Prozac. So you might be really, really helping some person who does not know anything about the effects of Prozac. And you just don't know whom you are helping when you write, or when you put something up on YouTube, or when you talk to your neighbor and just mention something out of the blue. We don't know who it is that is out there. In the interest of time, I'm going to wrap up, but it's time we just stop preaching to the choir, and again, make things a little bit more simple, because I think we need to reach broader audiences, people who just don't know, because people who know already know. we start thinking about who is our audience, who is out there, and realize that anybody out of the blue can drop in. Therefore, it's time to get back to basics, and maybe ask ourselves what are the basics. Thank you.